So I'll be the first to say, as a coach and a fitter, it's important that you get fitted for the right flex shaft to make sure that you can find near the middle of the club face consistently, give you control and give you distance. And my driver is fitted perfectly for me. But what if I tested something that showed you that even something as whippy as this could actually make you hit the ball better with every club in your bag? So I've got 3 of the swing trainers from GForce Golf. I have got the 55-degree wedge, the 7-iron and the driver. And I'm going to just kind of show you how something like this can improve the timing in your swing, but might just make you think twice as to whether it's the flex of the shaft that's costing you or whether it's more down to your golf swing. So there's lots of terms that golfers feel they need to get right in the golf swing. Things like, do I get nice transition? Do I get lag in the downswing? Can I accelerate correctly? Can I decelerate correctly? Well, I've been sent this through, and like I said, I've had driver, 7-iron and wedge. I'm going to use the 7-iron and the driver today, and I'm going to show you why I think this can be very helpful for a lot of golfers. And it was quite interesting even for me hitting a few with this. So if I tried to make kind of my normal swing, or what would feel normal for me with this, and it is crazy how whippy this shaft is. So see, a decent shot, club head speed super quick, club path nice and straight, club face good, and a carry of 170. Now, I'll be honest, I've tried this with a couple of my friends and they really struggled to begin with. So I'm going to talk through the benefits, I think, of something like this, and then maybe just, if there is a negative, what I think the negative would be. So the big thing with this club particularly is they're talking about how it helps to create lag rather than you letting the club head go first. You can see if the club's bending like that, it's going to be a real struggle getting the club face on the ball, pointing in the direction you want. So I think a really great feeling for golfers to have is as they swing back, they want the club moving in one direction, but the body starting the downswing. And we can see as that happens, this angle here closes. So that's that kind of lag that we see with all the best players in the world. And you don't really, I think, need to work too hard on your wrist positions and trying to get more of that on the way down. So you want to feel, particularly with this, that the club head's going one way and the body's going in the other. And then that feels really good. And I know for me, instantly, I felt a little difference at the top. But when I hit a shot just with that feeling, we can see there way out to the right. I mean, fairly centered, a little bit thin, but I really struggled getting the club face back on the golf ball. And actually, probably for me, the biggest thing it does is it actually makes me use my lead side better into impact. So what we'll see is I'm fairly good at letting the club go back, getting the lower body starting. But what I tend to find is my lower body moves and kind of keeps going, and everything else can't catch up. But what this feels is almost like I have to straighten my lead leg a little earlier to kind of get the hip out the way, fire the upper body and fire the arms. And when I do that, it feels incredibly good. Really good. So for me, it's not so much the start of the downswing where this is good, but very much more kind of how I decelerate my lower body to fire the energy through the rest of the body and into the club. So let's hit a shot. Again, a fraction thin, but 93.5 mile an hour club head speed, 0 path, club face really good, and 187 yards carry. Now I know what you're thinking, because I thought in practice, maybe I just need a set of these, because that's quicker than I would normally swing, which I would possibly expect. But let's go one more with the 7-iron. And in testing, I was super impressed with how I can get my body moving using this club. And again, feels aggressive, great strike, 92 mile an hour club head speed, path 2.6 on the inside, club face slightly closed, and 182 yard carry. So you can see when everybody's worrying about, I think my shaft's too bendy and I can't get the ball where I'm going. If you can time your swing correctly, even with something like this, you can hit great shots. But that's with a 7-iron. And I know we're all good with 7-iron, aren't we? So let's see how I fare with driver. Now, you thought 7-iron was whippy. Whew, this really does feel like a fishing rod. So, like I said, for me, it's not so much that initial part of the downswing, but it's very much how I get that lower body kind of straightening the left leg, turning the hips and firing. So, be interesting, won't it? I've got an extra stiff shaft in my driver, swinging around about 110 mile an hour. So let's see with this training aid how things go. Okay, so felt a little bit open at impact, but 107 mile an hour. I know I tend to hit up on the ball, so my path's a little bit more out to in. Club face 3.9 open, and to be fair, 210 is not too bad. So let's go again with this. So definitely didn't feel there that I straightened my left leg quite as early as I was doing with the 7-iron. Let's go again with driver. Felt good. A little bit towards the toe, 106 mile an hour club head speed, path decent. Club face 5.5 degrees open, a little bit out of the toe, but 242 carry and 253 total. So I really love the feeling that gives me in my golf swing. I mean, absolutely, I'm not expecting the loft on that to give me perfect launch conditions, but the sensation that gives me during my swing really makes me feel like if I put my driver back in, do I then improve on where I would normally be? Right, so the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? So let's get set with driver. Let's get that feel, that left leg kind of posting a little bit earlier. See how my driver works. So felt solid. So pretty near the middle. Again, 110 mile an hour club head speed. Path decent, club face good, 250 carry and 286 total. Now, I do think it's good. I think like with most swing training aids, maybe not perfect. And I appreciate nothing's perfect, but definitely for me, I know if I really want to get some club head speed, I can feel that as I'm coming in and that leg straightens, I get that little jump off the ground. But I've really found in practice that I cannot get anything like a decent strike. There's a reason the camera's not out there and it's face on. So let's try my little jump. I can normally get to about 114, 115 club speed. And let's see with this ultra whippy shaft, what that gives me. So we can see no more speed because it just feels like the club head, I've got no idea where it is. I struggled with the strike, face and path were okay and the shot was decent. So I do think the shaft flex on driver is real key for strike. I did a video a few years ago on all the different flexes and just as the flex got better for me, the strike became more consistent. But do I think these swing training aids from GForce can help your golf swing? Yes, I do. I think it's definitely one of those where you can feel that the club head's moving in one direction, lower body starts, so it gets that kind of lag feeling, but also that ability to accelerate and then decelerate to get your timing better absolutely improves with these kind of clubs. Will it be for everybody? Probably not, but I don't think anything is. And the most important thing is if you've got something like this, can you then replicate it with your own club? If you can, brilliant, but all in all, these have definitely got a place for certain golfers.